Hey, listen, I play the Mets song for you, the 86 song, and the video with Piscopo and the characters on that team. I mean, that team was a bunch of rock stars. And if you went to Shea in 86 and even 85, and as they were building this, really even 84 too, I guess. I mean, it felt like a half rock concert, half baseball game. It was crazy. It was the 80s. It was wild. And this guy was in the middle of it. And he's coming back for the Old Timers event. There you go. Coming up this weekend. Kevin Mitchell. Mitch, Tiki, and Tierney here on The Fan. How you doing today, buddy?
Oh, man, I'm doing real good, man. It's just, hey, it's a pleasure to just be even talking to y'all right now, what I've been through the last few months, so it's all good.
So, is everything okay? I mean, for those who don't know what you want to share the last couple of months, you hanging in there?
Oh, yeah, I went through some neck surgery, man.
Yep.
The first one kind of put me in the paralysis, but this one, I just had the surgery April 13th, and kind of put me down for a little while, but can't hold a big man down forever.
You definitely nothing little about Kevin Mitchell, that's for sure. He didn't even need a glove. You just catch balls barehanded back in the day.
We read the stories about why you didn't wear a cup either, so we know all those things. So, I mean, as you think back on that energy around the Mets in '86, and what that team meant to the city. Can you feel a little bit of that with this current Mets team? Because it's been so long. Since they've had this kind of excitement around the organization. I was going to say the team, but it's really the entire organization.
Oh, yeah, it's good for the fans. I tell you that, because I think once you start winning in New York, it's a lot of good things going to happen to the players, And I tell you, I love watching them. I watched them last night with that loss, but they got the best team. I think everybody else out there got to beat the Mets,
including the Yankees. You drawing some lines here, Kev? Or is this where
everybody, man. They play together, man, and and it's not like big home runs. It's just key hits, and they got good pitching. And I tell you, I think this team is going to do a lot for the city of New York.
Yeah, they already have, and they're incredibly well run. There's no doubt. We're talking to Kevin Mitchell here on the Fan, Tiki and Tierney show. I mean, your early ascent was really interesting, and having watched, all those games, my dad's a big Mets fan. I saw it all. You get a few at-bats in 84. Obviously, 85 was different, but 86 you come up, you get your third Rookie of the Year, real contributor, Mets win the World Series, and then boom, 87, you're dealt to San Diego. Now, the story, and since then, it's been largely refuted, but I want to hear this in your own words. Now, Teague, I don't even know if you know this, but George Foster, who was an amazing player in the 70s, great player with the Reds, big red machine, blah, blah, blah. George Foster was released, waived, whatever, and George back then claimed racism within the Mets. The Mets brought back Lee Mazzilli, who was certainly past his prime at that point, as was George, to be fair. And, Kevin, and I know you know this, but in a lot of ways, you were the scapegoat for, Doc and Darryl and some of the other guys that just ran loose, and it's largely been completely unfair. What exactly happened?
I mean, I was a young kid then. I didn't understand what the scapegoat was, So at the time, like I know now, I didn't realize what was being said about me being a bad influence for Doc and Straw. Like I tell everybody now to this day, how can I be a bad influence for guys that have already been in the big leagues before me? They should be a bad influence for me.
Yeah.
But,
what's your relationship with either or both of them right now?
Oh, I love them both.
Yeah.
As long as I can talk to Doc once a week, I know he's all right. As long as I can hear his voice.
Yeah.
I still reach out to Straw because I know he's a busy man now. He's out preaching, and I still leave him a little comment here and there. And I love you. But it'd be good to see these guys.
Yeah. Who else are you looking forward to seeing from that team? Obviously Gary's no longer with us, and that stinks. Gary Carter, obviously Keith. But who do you want to see?
Keith.
Yeah.
Keith Fernandez. He taught me a lot about the game. And as a young kid, how to prepare myself, to pinch hit, to be ready to play, all that.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing, too, because not only do the Mets get rid of you prematurely for a player that never worked here, just didn't fit in New York, we know that, but then you go and you win the MVP. And, Teak, listen to these numbers a couple of years after that. In 89, now you're with the Giants. 47 home runs, 125 ribbies, and an OPS over 1,000. Kevin, anything's easier to rewrite in hindsight, but I've said this, many have said it, that Mets team should have absolutely won more than one. It's almost criminal that you didn't. If you're on that team, it's probably different. Yeah. You probably win a second championship.
I thought so. I thought I would be with the Mets for the rest of my career, man, because I love the city. I love the people that's in New York, the fans. If you can't play for New York, you can't play for nowhere else. You can't play nowhere else. And when I left New York, all it did, like the old saying, it get greater later. So
yeah,
that's all what happened.
Yeah, when you think back on it, 3 years, do you have fond memories? I mean, obviously, you win a championship. It's obviously memorable, and you relish it forever. People will remember you forever. But your tenure, short as it was, and the way that it ended, and kind of some of the things that went down, do you remember it fondly?
Of being in New York?
Yeah, just being with the Mets. Do you remember it
in
totality?
Tell you what, man, I learned from the city. I learned from the players. I tell you what, if I would have never went to New York, I would have never knew this game like I knew it.
Yeah,
because of Keith.
Yeah.
Kev, because of Keith Hernandez or others.
Keith Hernandez.
Yeah.
When I first came up, remember it was Ellis Valentine was there, and he was kind of a mentor.
I remember Ellis. Too. Yeah, the outfielder. Yep.
Ellis. Yeah. When I first came up, him and Joe Youngblood.
Was Ellis still rocking that? Didn't he wear almost like a football some extension from his helmet because he got hit in the jaw? Didn't Ellis rock that at some point? He did, right?
He was a big man, and I was a young kid. I didn't want to just sit up and stare at him the whole time.
He's big. That's true. So, you know what I'm curious about? It's funny, when you're coming up, right? First of all, the Mets farm system is stacked. Backman's already there, but Dykstra's coming up. You're coming up.
Terry Blocker.
Yeah, outfield. Yep, Terry. Darling, and we just go up and down the list. But every staff now, Kevin, has, I don't know, 6-7 guys easily that throw north of 95. And the thing about, and I want to ask you this, if Dwight Gooden came up now where there was an attention to RPMs, because he had this slingshot delivery, which was so, not to mention a sick deuce, but this arm, it was like a slingshot. If Doc was paying attention to analytics and programming his body the way they do now, is he hitting 105? How hard is Doc Gooden throwing modern now?
No question he'd be hitting 105, probably 110.
Yeah.
The way Doc threw, he was the first guy that, him and Nolan that threw hard that I faced and really got to play with Doc. And they made it look so easy. The kids now that's coming out this bullpen, I don't care if they're coming out the bullpen starting, they throwing over 95, 96, 97, 100, even starters.
Yeah.
So,
no, they really are.
Yeah, it's just changed.
I don't know what's in the water. I don't even know what's in the water.
It's conditioning, man. It's how these guys train these days. You're just stronger. It's why we see all these, oblique injuries now. You used to never see that back in the day. The guys didn't lift weights the same way. You look at this team and this organization. Have you met Stevie Cohen yet?
No, I haven't.
And so, you got to be looking forward to it, and because it's changed. The regime is so different than it's ever been. The fact they're having this old timers day, the way that they're having, not to call you old at all, but they're having.
Oh no, go right ahead. Hey, I learned it.
But you know what I mean? It's just changed. It's a different Mets team than we've ever expected. How excited are you to get back and be a part of this? Just like all the Mets fans in the city have been excited by all the success, at least the early success this year.
Well, I'm just happy to be back there. I don't never stop watching them. I watch them, and I always text Keith while he's on the air and messing with him. But it's just excited to get back to the ballpark to watch these guys play. I actually went to the game when it was down here in San Diego, and I really enjoyed it, man. They got like I said, they got a good, exciting team, man. No matter if they lose, they come back the next day and they win the next two. Mm-hmm. That's just how they are. They're exciting to watch. I like the boy Lindura. I liked him when he was with Cleveland. You know?
Yeah, very good place. Had a great year.
I like him and Ramirez over there.
Mm-hmm.
But as little guys, they pump the ball a long way.
They do. I remember saying, we're talking to Kevin Mitchell, former Met and MVP back in '89 with the Giants. He's coming in for old timers. By the way, I'm sure Stevie's putting you up at a 5-star. What private jet is Stevie Cohen sending to scoop up Kevin Mitchell?
Yeah, all right.
No?
The old saying is, "What have you done for me lately?"
Oh, Stevie Nickel and Diamond? No, don't say it's true. No way. All right.
Yeah,
I got you.
And to put it straight out, I'm not like that anyway. I'm a simple guy now, and I just learned to be simple. You know, and
that's
keep
awesome,
it
man. Yeah, no, you sound very at ease, and it's cool that you're still that tight with Keith where you're texting him during the broadcast. I didn't know that. So I remember saying, Kevin, I remember saying early in the year when the Mets kept getting drilled, you know, especially the first month, they kept just, you know, hit. It seemed like they got hit every night. And, you know, maybe some of the younger fans are like, but I was saying, you got to go 86 them. You got to charge. You got to start throwing some fists here. Like with Ray Knight with Eric Davis back in Cincinnati, or Darrell with Tom, with Niedenfuer back in the day with the Dodgers. You guys had a lot of fights, and you guys had a lot of scrappers. And I've seen them all on YouTube, and I showed Tiki a few times over the years. Was there ever a fight where even a tough guy like you, where you're like, man, there's a lot of bodies flying. This is dangerous.
Well, when you're used to coming up the way I did, you're used to a lot of bodies flying everywhere. You know, just you got to get in the middle of the pile, because if you don't, you're gonna get hit by something else. You're stranded. Mm-hmm. If you're out there drifting, you're gonna get hit. So you got to get it.
That's an interesting philosophy.
That is. Sounds like something like Snoop or Dre. If you're out there drifting, you're gonna get hit. If you're out there drifting, gonna get hit. I like that line, Kev.
Yeah. You got to get in the middle of the pile, man. That's where it's safe at.
Yeah, they can't throw long punches in the middle of the pile. Maybe you get some little rabbit punches, but it ain't gonna hurt.
Even the guys who looked like you know, I don't know, the guy who would hold the dish at church on Sunday, like Tuffle and Ray Knight. Ray Knight was a Gold Glove boxer, and Tuffle wasn't afraid. I mean, you guys were out of your minds. When you win the championship that night, we know what Doc did, unfortunately. Who did you celebrate, and where did you celebrate? I want to know, you win the title, you beat the Red Sox, you're probably out somewhere on Long Island. Where are you partying? What are you doing?
I was with Keith. Keith and I don't know who was. I think it was Ron Darling. I was at a party with them. Oh, matter of fact, we almost missed the float. You know, the next.
Jeez. Oh,
hey, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Am I speaking to the man, the legend, Tiki Barber?
Yeah, man. Of course. What's up?
Okay, the football player.
Yeah. Who'd you think it was? You thought it was Rondé?
I don't. Man, I don't know. You know, hey man, I love your game, bro.
Thank you,
I love your game.
I appreciate that, Keith. That means a lot coming from a champion like you, bro. Appreciate you.
Man, you're a champion, bro.
Yeah,
you're a champion. You played some good running back, man, and I just want to know, what is your method of staying young like you do, because you always
steroids.
Like young puppy.
You know what it is? I never stopped working out, Keith. Honestly, that's what it was. When I stopped. I mean, Kevin. You talk about Keith Hernandez, you got him in my mind. Kevin, I never stopped working out. I lifted weights until I started running marathons, and I'm always working.
Man, you look good, man.
Thank you. I got young kids, too. I got a 6-year-old. So I got a 20-year-old and a 6-year-old. So I got to stay young.
He's got 4 others.
Yeah. My kids are grown now.
Yeah. So it gets harder when your kids are grown, because you don't have anybody to run after, right?
No, that's true. That's true.
Well, good luck to you, man. Get healthy. I know you said you had some surgeries and some issues.
That's what I'm doing. My whole goal is to stay focused and keep on pushing. That's it.
Well, it's a blessing that you're going to be back. We're looking forward to seeing you out there, as long as with the other old timers. Again, not to call you old, but just all the old timers.
You know, I'm used to it. They call me old around here. So,
hey, it's all good. It's good to be an old head. That's a term of endearment these days, right?
I'm just thankful to be living this long.
Hey,
you know,
I'm
old.
I feel you.
I'm old. Kevin, have an awesome weekend and have fun seeing your boys again, and you're going to get some hell of a reception. Great job. Thanks, man.
All right. Guys, have a good one, man, and thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate y'all, man.
Thanks for joining us, bro.
Our pleasure. No doubt. That is awesome. You know what's crazy, too? And this is why you just have to get to know people. And now I would be lying if I said that I process things through a prism of society when I'm watching the 80s. I'm not thinking racism, Foster, Mazzilli, Mitchell, the trouble. I'm just, but when I saw Kevin Mitchell, at least outwardly, like you saw like this intense, which is good, but also what appeared to be like a brooding figure.
Yeah.
Like he's the nicest guy we've had on the show.
I tell you. He's from California.
He's from San Diego. Yep.
That should tell you a lot.
He's
right?
tough as nails, man. He grew up.
Yeah.
He's grew up with gangs. I mean, Kevin Mitchell grew up in a way that I wouldn't last a day.
No.
I mean,
right.
it just tough.
Yeah.
He was
Three
the
high
first
schools?
guy growing up because I was young. I was born in '82. He was the first guy with the gold chains that I remember. Like, if I think gold chains on an athlete, I think Kevin Mitchell. Right
That's
away.
okay. Hey, listen, better to be known for something
I don't
than
know
nothing.
why, but that's just me. I don't know. It's just that was like my first memory of gold chains on an athlete was Kevin Mitchell.